Don't try and be perfect, and don't compare yourself to people with years and years more experience than you. Just try and learn from all the teachers around you and just take it all in and enjoy yourself.
My top tip to an NQT would be to just give things a go. So even if you think it's not going to work, just give it a try, because normally them ones work out better than your ones you over-planned for.
Always seek out support and help whenever you need it, regarding anything. As an NQT, a lot of the time you often get yourself into your own lone bubble. It's always important to seek help from anywhere in the school. It can change so many things.
Keep parents on side and keep in good contact with them at all times.
My tip is to ensure that you always make time for yourself.
Don't be afraid to say that hasn't worked, and just reflect and think, what can I do to make it work next time?
My high of this year would be a student telling me that he used to hate history before I became his teacher, and now it's his favourite subject and he wants to take it for GCSE. My two pieces of advice would be to seek advice when you need it, and my second would be work smarter, not harder.
Prioritise tasks. Accept that your to-do list will never be done, and plan time for yourself.
Manage your time wisely, don't be afraid to ask for help, and just keep on top of your file and your marking.
One of the best parts of my NQT year so far would definitely have to be the parents' evening, because although it was one of the things I was really scared about having to go out and doing, it was definitely one of the most rewarding things that I've done.
Keep your evidence for yourself and for the children right at the beginning of the year, and not give yourself the stress of backtracking.
I would say don't be afraid to make mistakes. Each mistake is another learning curve, so that's fine. The most exciting part of my NQT year was the challenge of having a new year group. It was something entirely different and it made it a lot more exciting.
Treat yourself to a break.
My tip would be don't be afraid to ask for advice from your colleagues, because they've all been there before and they are not going to tell you off for asking things that you don't know.
My tip is to be confident when you are being observed.
Stay organised, prioritise everything, have chocolate in your classroom for the end of the day and have a bottle of wine ready after your observations.
My advice is to use the parents, try and build a good relationship with them and ask them for materials and things if you're doing a new topic.
Talk to staff, share your experiences, what's going on with you could be happening to other staff. So talk about how you're feeling, talk about the classes, how they're getting on, and you'll start to see the progress, as small and minute as it might be, what the difference is that you're having on children and their lives forever.
Always create a to-do list so you know what you're doing.
My top tip is to always ask for help. Don't be afraid to go to kind of senior members of staff, because you're not meant to know everything as an NQT.
My top tip for NQTs would be to plan your time wisely so you get a good work-life balance.
I think the best piece of advice that I give is don't leave everything at the last minute. Ask as many people as you can for advice, because there's always somebody there who'll help, and check online because there's so many resources out there. You don't have to make everything yourself from scratch.
To take advantage of the skills of those who you work with.
My advice would be not to panic and believe in yourself and that you are doing a great job.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
I found that sometimes it'll take some students longer to get something, and that's really what education is all about. When you see that spark, that's something that one kid's managed to achieve that they couldn't before. Because I teach in special educational needs, for one student this has been that now he can finally count objects accurately, so he can count to 10, and that might sound strange to some of you sitting here thinking, how can a secondary child, you'd be celebrating such a small win? But for that child, you've made a difference to his life forever.